There are seasons in life when everything seems to stand still. When you work hard, you pray sincerely, yet nothing seems to move in your favor. It feels as if the heavens have gone silent, as if every door that once opened easily has now become locked and cold. You try to stay hopeful, but disappointment keeps creeping in. You see others succeeding, moving forward, living their dreams, and you quietly ask yourself, what about me? Has God forgotten my name? But my friend, that silence is not abandonment. It's transformation. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Sometimes God's greatest work begins in the quiet, hidden moments when you feel most uncertain. Just like a seed buried deep in the earth, you cannot see what's happening, but something powerful is taking place beneath the surface. The soil is dark, the pressure is real. But that's where roots are growing strong enough to hold the weight of the blessings that are coming. We often mistake delay for denial. When our prayers aren't answered immediately, we assume something is wrong, when in reality, God is aligning things perfectly behind the scenes. He's not just preparing the blessing for you. He's preparing you for the blessing. If He were to open the doors too soon, we might not be ready to step through them with wisdom, gratitude, and strength. Every closed door is a silent teacher. Every setback is an invitation to trust deeper. Think about this: when a door is shut, it forces you to pause. It stops your restless movement and calls you to reflect. Maybe that closed door is God protecting you from what could have hurt you. Maybe it's redirecting you towards something far better than what you were chasing. Sometimes what looks like rejection is actually redirection. You're not losing your way. You're being led a different way. And here's the truth that brings peace to any restless heart: God never stops listening. Even when you feel unheard, every whisper, every tear, every silent prayer reaches Him. He is not distant, He is deliberate. The universe doesn't operate on our schedule. It moves by divine timing. Imagine the precision of a sunrise. It never arrives too early or too late. It comes exactly when the darkness has served its purpose. That's how God's timing works in your life. If you're standing in front of a closed door right now, don't curse it. Thank it. That door is proof that God's hand is guiding your path. He is teaching you patience, endurance, and faith that can't be shaken by circumstances. Because when the right door opens, and it will open, you'll walk through it with the calm of someone who knows it was meant for them. Instead of asking, "Why me?" start saying, "What are you teaching me?" Instead of worrying about what's delayed, thank God for what's being developed. Don't let frustration steal your faith. You are still on schedule. The silence you feel today is sacred. It's where your strength is being forged, your character refined, and your spirit made ready to receive more than you've ever imagined. God never forgets His promises. He doesn't overlook your effort. When the time is right, and your heart is aligned, the same doors that refuse to open will swing wide with grace. And in that moment, you'll realize something beautiful. The waiting wasn't wasted. Every second of silence was working for your good, shaping you for the prosperity that's destined to find you. There comes a moment when you stop running in circles, stop overthinking, and finally understand that the power to change your life doesn't lie in the world around you. It lies in your direct connection with God. Calling upon God isn't about repeating long prayers filled with fear or desperation. It's about speaking to Him from the deepest part of your heart with trust, confidence, and love. It's about knowing, not hoping, that your Creator hears you instantly and is already setting miracles into motion. When you call on God directly, something shifts inside you. The energy of fear begins to fade, and the light of faith starts to rise. You stop begging and start believing. Instead of saying, "Please, God, give me something," you start saying, "Thank you, God, it's already done." That change in vibration. Yes, that single shift from fear to faith is what unlocks divine flow. Prosperity doesn't begin with money, it begins with alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with faith, the universe mirrors that belief back to you. God never intended for you to live in lack or struggle endlessly. Life wasn't designed to be a race against time or other people. It was meant to be a partnership with the divine. You are a co-creator with God, not a victim of fate. But to co-create, you must learn to tune your heart to the right frequency. When you speak words of doubt, you disconnect from abundance. When you speak words of faith, you align yourself with endless possibility. The words you speak and the thoughts you repeat are the invisible seeds that grow into your future reality. Calling God directly means cutting away all the noise, the worry, the comparisons, the disbelief, and standing in pure trust. It's looking at the impossible and saying, "Even this can turn around." It's walking through a storm, but believing the sun is still above the clouds. When you pray in that energy, heaven listens. You attract peace, strength, and solutions that logic can't explain. You begin to notice small signs, doors opening, people appearing, opportunities arriving, and deep down you know, God is working. But this kind of faith takes practice. The world trains us to panic when things don't go our way, to doubt when results don't come fast enough. Yet faith means believing even when there's no evidence. It's trusting the process while it's still unfinished. When you stop chasing what you want and start aligning with God's will, you realize that everything meant for you cannot miss you. That's the beauty of divine timing. It never fails, even if it doesn't move at your speed. When you call God directly, you begin to see life differently. Problems become lessons, delays become direction, and pain becomes purification. The energy of faith transforms even the darkest nights into sacred preparation. Prosperity isn't something you have to hunt for. It's something that finds you when your heart becomes a magnet for divine good. You start to attract peace, opportunities, and unexpected blessings, not because you forced them, but because you believed they were already yours. Speak to God like you would to your truest friend. Tell Him what you desire, but also thank Him for what's already unfolding. Say, "God, I trust you completely. I know you're opening doors I can't yet see. I release control and walk in faith." Then, act like it's already done. That action of belief, your calm, your confidence, your gratitude, creates a ripple that touches heaven. Faith is not waiting for proof. It is the proof. When your trust becomes greater than your fear, miracles have no choice but to appear. And that's the secret of calling God directly. When your heart speaks with certainty, the universe moves with power. The same God who created worlds listens to every word you speak in faith and answers in perfect time. There comes a moment when the waiting ends. Not because the world suddenly changes, but because you do. The moment you stop doubting, stop forcing, and start trusting, something sacred awakens inside you. You begin to realize that God was never far away, that the doors of prosperity were never truly closed. They were simply waiting for you to arrive, with faith strong enough to open them. The key was never lost. It was always in your hands, quietly resting in the place where trust lives. When you finally go to God, not with panic, but with peace, you feel that shift. Go somewhere quiet. Turn off the noise of the world. Close your eyes and speak softly from your soul. "God, I know you hear me. I know you're working in my favor. I release my fear, and I walk in trust. Those simple words carry the power to move mountains, because they come from surrender, not struggle. The moment you stop trying to control every outcome and let God lead, life begins to unfold with effortless grace. You see, prosperity isn't about chasing, it's about aligning. The people who live in abundance aren't always the ones who work the hardest. They're often the ones who trust the deepest. They move with peace, they act with purpose, and they expect good things, not out of arrogance, but out of understanding that divine favor flows to a faithful heart. When you learn to trust God's process, you stop living like a beggar and start living like a beloved child of the divine. It's easy to believe when everything is going right, but true faith is proven in the silence, when you can't see the outcome, yet still choose to say, "It's on its way." That's when miracles start to appear, not because you demanded them, but because you became the kind of person who can receive them. Faith is not about forcing a door open. It's about knowing which one is truly yours and waiting patiently until it swings open in divine timing. And here's the beautiful truth. When that door finally opens, it doesn't just lead to blessings. It leads to transformation. You'll look back and realize that the waiting, the tears, the lessons, all had purpose. God wasn't delaying your destiny. He was developing your depth. He was preparing your spirit to handle what's coming with wisdom and grace, because prosperity without preparation can destroy, but prosperity after patience builds a life that lasts. So don't rush the process. When you call on God, stand still in faith. Speak gratitude before you see results. Every time fear whispers, "What if it never happens?" answer with faith, "It's already on its way." That is how you activate divine movement. That is how you walk with spiritual authority. You must understand, God's abundance doesn't respond to panic, it responds to peace. Worry blocks blessings, but calm attracts miracles. When your energy matches your prayer, when your actions reflect your belief, the universe aligns itself to deliver what is already meant for you. Doors begin to open, opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere, and you realize it was never about luck. It was always about faith. So as you move forward, carry this truth in your heart. You were never locked out of anything. The doors you thought were closed were simply waiting for your belief to arrive. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Every single prayer you have spoken in faith is alive, moving toward its perfect moment of arrival. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that God's timing is never late. The same divine hand that shaped the stars is guiding your steps. When you finally knock with faith, the door of prosperity will not just open. It will swing wide, welcoming you home to the life that was always meant to be yours. In the end, prosperity is not a distant dream. It's a divine reality waiting for your faith to meet it. God never hides blessings from you. He holds them for you until you are ready to receive them with wisdom, gratitude, and strength. The moments of silence, the waiting, the tears, and the uncertainty were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you. Every closed door was part of your preparation. Every delay was a lesson in patience, and every unanswered prayer was an invitation to trust more deeply. When you finally stop pleading and start believing, the whole energy of your life begins to shift. You no longer chase blessings. You attract them. You speak differently, you walk differently, and you begin to glow with quiet assurance. That's when miracles unfold, because prosperity is not just about what you have, it's about who you become through faith. So, as you move forward, don't fear the unknown or doubt the unseen. God is already there, arranging every detail with love and precision. Speak to him daily, not as a distant deity, but as your closest friend and guide. Call him directly with a heart full of trust, not trembling. Say, God, I know you're opening doors for me right now. And then live as though it's already done. The door you've been waiting for is not locked. It's waiting for your hand of faith to turn the handle. Walk toward it with courage, gratitude, and peace. For the God who created the stars has never once failed to keep a promise. And when you move in that truth, every door of prosperity, purpose, and joy will open in perfect time, just as it was always meant to.